Hello, I'm Anna, and you're tuned into Inflation Watch, Bank of Jamaica's monthly update on price movements. At February 2025 headline, or annual inflation, that's the general rate of increase in the prices of goods and services over the previous 12-month period, was 4.4%. Now, do you know what that means? It means inflation remained within the BOJ's target range of 4 and 6%, and price increases for February 2025 were low, stable, and predictable, just how we like it. Yeah. Inflation at February was lower than the 4.7% recorded at January 2025 and generally lower than the inflation for most of last year. And here's even more good news. There was a lower rate of price increases for most of 2024 compared to 2023 and 2022. This general decline in inflation was supported by BOJ's monetary policy decisions and stability in what business persons expect inflation to be in the future. That's what we call inflation expectations. Now, the increase in prices in February 2025 relative to a year earlier resulted mainly from more expensive fruits and vegetables such as ripe bananas, oranges, watermelons, dried coconuts, and carrots and cabbage. Some starchy foods like plantains, yellow yam, and green bananas also cost more than a year ago. February's inflation also reflected more expensive household rent, higher electricity rates, and higher prices for meals consumed away from home. Now that you're up to speed with the factors that influenced inflation at February 2025, it's over to BJ for more on how a relatively stable foreign exchange market helps to achieve low, stable, and predictable inflation.
Hi, BJ here with more on the impact of the exchange rate on inflation. Remember, the exchange rate is the amount of Jamaican dollars needed to buy $1. Jamaica has a free floating exchange rate. That means the rate is set by demand and supply in the market. So, the exchange rate will move up and down from time to time. But Bank of Jamaica makes sure that the movement don't create panic, don't upset the orderly functioning of the market, and don't cause people to expect higher inflation. Two-way movement in the exchange rate helps the economy to deal with shocks like hurricanes or a big increase in oil price on the world market. When the exchange rate appreciates, that means it costs less Jamaican dollars to buy $1. The negative effect on prices is generally less. However, when the exchange rate depreciates, when it costs more Jamaican dollars for $1, imported things like equipment, services, or products needed for production generally cost more. Imported finished goods ready for sale or things made in Jamaica with imported materials would also generally cost more. One benefit of depreciation, however, is that the demand for goods made in Jamaica increases locally, especially if they cost less than imported goods. With depreciation, the demand for Jamaican exports will also rise because they will be relatively cheaper for overseas buyers. So, remember, a stable foreign exchange market with a floating exchange rate that moves up and down is positive for Jamaica. BOJ worked to manage the up and down movement so that even though the rate floats, there's relative stability and the movement don't threaten the inflation target of between 4 and 6%. That way, BOJ tried to keep price increases low, stable and predictable for everybody. More on inflation next time.
Very useful information there, BJ. Thank you. And that's a wrap for Inflation Watch, looking at price movements at February 2025. Join us again next time when Bank of Jamaica will bring you another episode of Inflation Watch, where we track inflation and explore the factors influencing price movements in Jamaica. I'm Anna. Keep watching.